While it's MLB wildcard action that is still going on in the sports media landscape, we had some big news drop this week regarding the regional sports network situation around Diamond Sports Group. Here to help me break it down, SBJ's baseball beat writer, Mike Mazzeo. Mike, thanks for joining the pod.
Thanks for having me, Austin. Great to be here, and games have been a lot of fun, and we'll see if it continues tonight.
Mike, our colleague Tom Friend reported on Wednesday about this bankruptcy hearing. We've been talking about it a while. All but one MLB team that was in that Diamond fold is basically going to be let loose. The Diamond doesn't want any part of that. They maybe are going to stick with the Braves. That's going to be a Braves call. But we have a lot of teams that are essentially media free agents out there. Where are we? What do you think is going to happen next?
Yeah, Austin. So like you said, big development today. 11 teams now kind of have some more certainty, more clarity than they did before. MLB has 3 teams under its umbrella: Diamondbacks, Padres, and Rockies. 3 others had their contracts expire at the end of the season. The Rangers, according to Tom Friend, are going to do their own, direct to consumer situation. And so we'll see if these 11 teams decide to go in a similar route to the Rockies, Diamondbacks, and Padres. That certainly makes a lot of sense. MLB would have 14 teams under an umbrella. Then it could potentially partner with an Amazon and ESPN Plus, who Jimmy Pitaro has said openly he's interested in that. So, that looks like the situation from here. Whether the, main attraction, those big market teams like the Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers ever get into this thing, we'll see. Those teams have certainly a different situation with their, RSNs. They're very successful. They're revenue drivers for those teams, why they have such big payrolls playing in huge cities. And so that will be, what's to come. But in the short term, obviously, again, you have, almost a dozen teams that have some more clarity. This thing looked like it was going to potentially drag out into April. Those teams wanted no part of that. MLB wanted no part of that. Looks like this is at least going to have some sort of finality by December 16th, according to Tom Friend.
And it hovered over these teams, most of these teams, anybody that was associated with Bally's, it was hovering over them all season. MLB's lawyer in this bankruptcy hearing, he was even he felt sandbagged by this move by Diamond. But like you said, we do have some more clarity, like, okay, you're going to be free agents. And also, this isn't something new for MLB. Like you said, 3 teams were already under the fold. They knew what they had to do here. They've done it before. They will be able to help these teams out. That national RSN sort of package is going to be in the cards there. But there are some big teams out there that already have their own RSNs that kind of print money. We're talking about the Dodgers. We're talking about the Yankees, Red Sox, the Mets. Do you think those teams ever end up on that sort of maybe national sort of RSN package?
Yeah, I think that's a phenomenal question, right? A lot of them are partnered with carriers and, they're super successful as a result. Will they lose those people when everyone cuts the cord and, have to worry about people, the Yankees with Gotham Sports, right? They're teaming up with MSG Network to kind of bundle every team in New York locally, except for the football teams and the Mets. A lot of hockey there, Knicks, Nets. So you got, some teams kind of trying to do some smart things in terms of bundling their product and making that more, likely for consumers to even buy from Gotham and the Garden, the Yankees, you can get it kind of everywhere. And so we'll see there. But yeah, that's definitely, like you said, Austin, that's a long-term question because those teams, it's extremely financially viable and successful for those teams. And we'll see what happens on that front as the years go by.
Mike, later in this podcast, we're going to talk with Craig Sloan from PlayFi. And they handle all those national ad sales for all of these U.S.-based RSNs. And yeah, while the distribution model seems very broken for a lot of these teams, whether it's MLB, NHL, or NBA, the ad sales are still pretty good. Like these are still very popular sports, and especially baseball. On a given night, you have a ton of people at the RSN level across the country watching a lot of baseball. I think it's still a popular sport day in and day out over a 6-month period.
100%. And, I live in New York, the Mecca, right? We have the Yankees and Mets in the postseason right now. Tons of people are tuning in. The attendance has been phenomenal. MLB's attendance up, for the first time in back-to-back years since 2011-12. So, people like the shorter game times. I think it was 2:36 this year. All the new rule changes, having 2 platinum superstars and Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani doing what they did are driving huge ratings, huge numbers to the ballpark. So yeah, I mean, as long as MLB has those stars and they're kind of transcending the sport as Shohei did with the 50-50, those numbers are going to be big.
You talk about the New York market. Sounds like Yankee fans are going to get to hear John Sterling one more time.
Right. John Sterling is back, Austin. He had retired earlier this season following 36 years as the Yankees play-by-play announcer on WFAN. They had a couple replacements come in late in the season. WFAN had approached Sterling about coming back. He did the final week of the regular season, and he's going to have one last hurrah. He's 86 years old. he's really looking forward to it. He said he didn't miss a beat when he jumped back in. He loves his partner, Susan Waldman, who's been with him for 20 years. And, John is known for his infamous home run calls. We saw him call a Jazz Chisholm home run right before the end of the regular season. That's really what he's known for. He's a Ford Frick nominee, which is incredible. I really hope he gets into the Hall of Fame soon. He certainly deserves it for his devotion. He's an entertainer. Everybody loves him, and really good for him to be back. And so he certainly would like to go out with a World Series. The Yankees haven't won since 2009, so a long time. 15 years for that franchise is a long time, given the core four and the dynasty they had in the late 90s, early 2000s. So great to have John back. Will be great to hear his voice, and we'll see if he gets his wish of going out with a bang here with the Yankee World Series.
What do you think, Mike? Does MLB get that Dodgers-Yankees World Series? Who are your picks to make it out of the NL and AL?
Yeah, I think it's certainly possible, Austin. I really hope the Padres get through to play the Dodgers, just because that's, a rivalry in the same sense of the Yankees, Red Sox, right up there. Mets, Phillies is a possibility. So it's potentially a really great series. I think I like the Padres to come out just with their, low strikeout rate, got a great starting rotation. AJ Preller did a phenomenal job fortifying the bullpen. And then I think the Yankees will get there. And I like the Padres to come out. I don't know. New York fans might be upset with that pick, but I think the Padres really love the way they, came out in the second half after going 50-49 pre-All-Star break. So it's going to be exciting. Maybe you do get Ohtani Judge. MLB would never admit it, but they would love to see it, obviously, because I think the ratings would be massive. And we'll see what happens here as October continues on.
Well, Mike, I know the offseason is generally about roster moves, but obviously a lot more free agency now on the RSN side. I know you're going to be paying attention to that. I know SBJ is going to be all over it. Mike Mazzeo, SBJ's MLB beat writer, thanks for joining the pod.
Thanks, Austin.